Hi everyone, it's Joe. Welcome back to another episode, part thingy of the Anime Alphabet Challenge. So, I've already went over the basic idea of this whole thing in I went over the rules and whatnot in the introduction, and then I did a brief reminder in the previous one, I believe. So we're just gonna kind of jump into this one. First things first, I finished this show, and I'll say what it is in just a second. I've already said what it is. It's the letter A. It's a girl and her guard dog. So I finished it Thursday. Great. Not even a regular ramble, and I'm already yawning. This is lovely. So I finished it Thursday, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't have as much to say as I did about the previous show that we covered on here, 2.43 Saiyan High School Boys Volleyball Team. Nor do I don't feel like I have as much to say on it, because I don't feel like that show it surprised me. This show didn't really surprise me. And also it's been a couple days, but I still remember the majority of the info. So I don't know, I'm just saying, if this one isn't as detailed or doesn't go in depth, it's just because this show didn't grab me as much as the last one. Alrighty, so this show it is currently one season. I don't know if they make another one. It was 13 episodes. The average score on my anime list was a 5.66. It aired from September 29th, 2023 to December 22nd, 2023. Let's see. So the average score was the average of all the ratings, I guess, is a 5.66. My score out of 10 was a 7. So it's like a romance. I'm half tempted to call it a shoujo, but I don't. Well, okay, hold on. Broad definition of shoujo, anime intended for girls. I would say this fits. So yeah. Okay, yeah, it's a shoujo, it's a romance. It's about this girl named Isaku, who is the granddaughter of this Yakuza chairman guy. And after her parents die when she's 5, she goes to live with her grandpa and live with the Yakuza. And then we fast forward to when she's 16 and she's going into high school. So she joins a high school that is oh my god, okay, I'm so sorry. She goes to a high school that's an hour away because she doesn't want to go anywhere where they know her, because it's revealed and through flashbacks when she was a child, nobody wanted to associate with her because everybody was like, Yakuza bad, don't associate with them. So yeah, she has this new high school, and within the first 5-10 minutes, she trips and almost falls, but she is caught by this dude named Keiya, who is her, I guess you could say, caretaker at her back home, who has been basically her caretaker since she showed up. He is 26, and he is yes, when they meet for the first time, when she is a little tiny child, he's like, I will be your mom, your dad, your best friend, I will be everybody all at once. It is, since then been 10-ish years, and he's now yeah, I'm going to high school with you because I'm concerned for your safety, and I want to be around to keep you safe and protect you. So yeah, it is an age gap show. She is 16, he is 26. I've seen a lot worse. I'm sure that might sound horrible. Meh. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a few episodes to be like, okay, this is kind of, like, for the first few episodes, I was like, this is kind of weird. This is a little, this is, So, it's pretty much stated early on by Isaku that she's like, yes, since the moment I have looked at Keiya, I have been in love with him since the moment I have seen him, and he's the best, but I can't tell him because he's a Yakuza, and I'm not. So I can't tell him at all. So then this show for 13 episodes is like, basically, the whole show is Isaku is in love with Keiya, and Keiya is weird and is like, I don't know, but like when I say he's weird, he's like, he really doesn't pick up on things, and like he's like, yeah, oh no, I could never be in love with Isaku, like no, no, she'd never be my girlfriend, like no. And then like 2 episodes later, he's like, yeah, I know I said that, but like no, I want to kiss you, and I want like refuse to elaborate, and like I'm doing a horrible job, but it's like, so she's into him, and she doesn't think he is into her based on things he has done, but then he's like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, yes, I want to kiss you, and I want to hold you, and be around you all the time, and so she's like, well, maybe he does like me, but then he's still being his, like, typical weird self, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with him being weird. In fact, I really like, yeah, I think he's probably my favorite character in this entire show. Okay, actually, scratch that, he's not my favorite character. My favorite character is tied for her 2 best friends that she makes in high school, or at the school, whose names I can't, Ando and, I can't think of the other one's name. They are, like, the greatest friends ever. So, Keiya goes second to them. But I really like Keiya. Anyway, I've, like, bounced around. Let me try to, like, get some kind of focus here. Let me, like, break down the entire plot of the show. I think I did this in the last one, too. Spoilers, obviously, if you don't watch the show, I would recommend maybe not watching these. These are more so just me giving my thoughts on, like, a fully completed thing. So, let's see. So for the first 2 episodes, it's just, like, very standard, whoa, high school's so new. I wanna have high school romance and not be around the Yakuza people. And I don't, it's like, I want to have typical teenage girl romance in high school and fun times and besties and, So she tries this. There's a guy that she meets that she's like, oh, I think I might like him. So they go and they do like he invites her on a trip to, like, I can't even think of the dude's name. He was only there for 1 episode. He invites her to go do karaoke with, like, a group of his friends, and they go do karaoke, and then he tries to, like, force himself onto her, and Keiya shows up and saves the day. And then, like, that's where we get the first, like, I think by this point, maybe the I want to kiss you thing had already happened. Okay, no, it definitely had. So, like, then they're walking on, like, on a street, and, like, he's like, I thought, and I could have my episodes mixed up here. He's like, man, I thought, you just kiss people because you have sex with them and you kiss them, but I want to kiss you because I want to, and I want you to help me learn why that is, and, like, touches her hair, and then she runs away. She's like, oh my god, I like him, and he might like me, but we don't know. I should mention my therapist recommended the show to me. If you're wondering what made me so inclined to watch this, it's strictly because she recommended it to me. So then we get like, and by all means, like I said, the first couple episodes, I was like, okay, he's 26. This is kind of weird. But by whatever episode this is, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, Kaya, I like him as a character, even though he's really weird and doesn't understand things. Also, I think he's kind of hot, which helps. And then, like, I mean, it's literally in the title, like, guard dog. Like, there are parts where he literally acts like a dog. Like he doesn't get his way, and he gets, like, these really sad, like, puppy eyes. And, like, there was another part, too, where he was like, I did good, pat my head. And it was like, okay, these scenes, like, I'm like, okay, he's hot over here, and these scenes, I'm like, okay, that's adorable, and he's great. And then I remember he's 26, and I'm like, it's kind of, So then we get, like, an episode or two of Isaku realizing, she's like, okay, no, I'm definitely into him, because, like, they go to the beach, and she ends up getting, like, taken held hostage by another Yakuza family. And so Kaya comes to the rescue, and she ends up, like trying to help. And so then she's worried that, like, Kaya got injured, and he's all worried about her, and she's like, wow, I, like, sprung into action to, like, try to help him. I think I'm definitely into him. And so then we get the main, I guess, we get, like, the rest of the show all builds up to, like, one thing. And I'm trying to remember how many episodes this was, where it was kind of like this whole thing. They introduce a new character named Mikio Tanuki. I think that's his name. So I like him, like, vibe-wise. And I think he looks okay. And at first, he's kind of just like a jokester, kind of, sort of, like a not very serious guy. And then he just, like, so, okay, let me back up. So he gets introduced, and he's kind of like a jokester, very laid back, and Kaya's like, you will treat me with respect, you will stay away from her. And then, Mikio decides, he's like, all right, I'm gonna cause some trouble. I'm gonna, life is boring, so I'm gonna go join high school. I'm gonna go to their high school, and I'm gonna mess around with them. So he joins their high school, and he realizes, I'm pretty sure everybody realizes Isaku has a thing for Kaya, and she's like, all right, he's like, okay, I'm gonna like, cause some trouble because I'm bored, and Kaya is scary, but that's fun, so I'm gonna cause some problems. So the school's having a festival, because it's an anime, and of course there's a school festival. So, like, okay, we're going to put on a play. So, like, we're going to do Romeo and Juliet. So, naturally, Isaku, Juliet, and she can't act, but it's fine. And then everybody, wants Kaya to be Romeo, but unfortunately, it gets given to Mikio. And so, the two of them, Isaku and Mikio, are, like, hanging out all the time. Well, not all the time, but, like, they're hanging out and they're practicing their lines. And, and Kaya is like, no, he needs to stay away from her. And Isaku's trying to, like, keep everything normal. Like, it's fine. It's just for the play. We need to make sure everything goes to plan. So, like, everybody's sort of getting along. And then Mikio, they stay late to practice lines. And then he proceeds to also take her hostage. And then, like, they take her and Kaya to a warehouse, and she is handcuffed with her hands behind her back, and he shoves her on the ground while Kaya is, like, being, like, he's also restrained, and Mikio looks at Kaya, and he's like, hey, yo, I am gonna assault her now, because it'll make you mad, which will make things not boring. And I remember sitting there thinking, this really escalated. Okay. So, obviously nothing happens. I mean, I didn't want anything to happen. I gotta be real, I don't want to watch that. But, like, nothing happens, obviously. Isaku knees him in the nuts, and then he passes out, and Kaya gets out of his restraints, and sure enough, everybody's fine. And So then, they're like, okay, Mikio, stay away from her, stay away from us. As soon as the play is done, disappear. So, day of the play comes, and Mikio switches roles with Keiya. So now Keiya is Romeo instead of Mikio. So they, Romeo, Juliet, Isaku, and Keiya do their thing, and it's romance, and yay! I think they kissed, and it's great. Woo, yeah. I'm sorry, I probably sound like I don't like this show. I did like it. I already said I gave it a 7, which I consider good. It's just like they kiss, and then like she confesses to him once she realizes he doesn't have a girlfriend, because there's this whole little side plot that lasts for all of 2 seconds where Isaku thinks he has a girlfriend, like this one girl who's like the owner of a hostess club. That whole thing literally lasts for 2 minutes. So she realized, okay, he's single. I think he likes me. I think, I definitely like him. So she confesses to him, and then Keiya, being Keiya, is like, all right, she's into me. We're going to go from just said I love you to immediately shoving her onto the bed and having sex with her. And so she's like, whoa, slow down, stop, stay, whatever. And so then she thinks, oh, well, he just likes me because my body and just wants to have sex with me. Okay, fine. So she goes to, she then proceeds to be like, all right, you need to, reevaluate your feelings for me, and until you can figure it out, we're not talking. I'm not helping you figure this out. So then the next day at school, a girl proceeds to ask Keiya out, and she's like, listen, I know you're not into me, but I'm into you, so before I, fully give up on you, will you kiss me? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? Well, Isaku sees it, and she's like, oh my god, I hate you. Storms off. Very typical romance stuff. And he, they're like, so later, Keiya is talking to her 2 friends, and they're like, why did you do that? And he's like, well, because I love Isaku, and if I had kissed other girl over here, then I get to go back to her faster. Like I said, he's kind of weird, which I like. I find it semi-amusing. But, also, it creates needless conflict, which, I know people live for conflict and drama, so it's kind of the whole point. I know. So that gets cleared up, pretty fast. Mind you, this is, on the last episode, it's second to last, so there's really no more, there's no more time to do anything. So, so he tells her friends this, and then, he comes home, and she's already home from school, and he's like, come with me. So he takes her to this side room, and he takes off his shirt, and he's got a Yakuza tattoo on his back, and he's like, okay, you're going to take this sword, and you're going to cut my back to mark me as yours, so they can prove to you that I love you, and the feelings are genuine, whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is insane. We've legitimately gone from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. This is nuts. And she, internally, and I think externally to an extent, is like, this is insane. I'm like, thank God, voice of reason. Okay, cool. And then, he gives her, a katana, and is like, do this. And she's like, this is insane. I'm not going to do this. So she puts the sword away. I'm like, thank God. Voice of reason. Thank God. Everything's normal. And then she goes, actually, nah, I can't do it with the sword, but I will do it with my nails. And proceeds to scratch his back. There you go. Look, a mark. And I'm like, I thought things were normal. I thought you were the voice of reason. And then it pretty much ends. Okay, like I said, I know that probably sounded like I didn't like it. I did like it. It was a lot of tropes. Nothing too original. Like I said, it was a good time. There were parts where I was smiling the whole time watching this show. I was laughing. There were Keiya in particular. Him, he was my favorite part of the show. So I did like the show. It just nothing. It was nothing special. Typical. Oh, we miscommunicated because he didn't understand. Drama. Or, oh, look, they're doing Romeo and Juliet. Oh, look, that leads to more conflict. Oh, she's a Yakuza daughter. I bet there's going to be some kind of, kidnapping or something. And maybe I've just seen too much anime or played too many games that follow a similar plot structure. But, it's just nothing Nothing surprised me other than the thing at the end of, hey, yo, stab my back. And she's like, nah, I'll just scratch it instead. Like, I like this show. It's just nothing really grabbed me. I mean, I still gave it a 7. And I think if they made more show, and I have this in my notes here too, if they make more of it, like a season 2, I think I would have a higher opinion of it, because I want to see where it goes. But also, what they gave me was like just, I mean, it was good, but it was okay. So I'm hoping that if they make more of it, then maybe it would make me see the product as a whole in a better light. I know I did happen to see a post on the Shoujo Anime Reddit the other day, or the Shoujo Manga Reddit, whatever it was, and it was like, animes that started out loved, and then, became hated, or started out controversial, and blah, blah, blah. And it was like a chart. And like this show, it was like, started out controversial, ended hated. So I am very curious to know how it ended, if it legitimately ended with everybody hating it. So if that's the case, okay, maybe there won't be a season 2. And I'm not really holding my breath for one. Like I said, though, if they made more, I would definitely check it out just to see if maybe I holds my attention a little bit more. I mean, and the art style was very pretty. I'll give it that. The art style on the show was very pretty. I don't know. Overall, do I regret watching this show? No. Did I like it over the volleyball show? Not really. It was good. It just, nothing special. Do I think you should watch it? I mean, if you really like typical shoujo anime and you think Kaya is hot, go for it. I'd say this. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, no, I'm not. I was going to apologize that this is not very constructive or professional, but also that's not really how I do things, nor is it how I did it last time either. So, and I think I said this last time too, if that's what you're looking for, maybe go somewhere else. Any hooser, we've spent enough time on this show. Oh yeah, I watched it on Crunchyroll. Okay, now more importantly, the next show. And I know I have said this a few times in regular rambles. I think if my bestie happens to hear this, I think she'll be excited. I don't know if she will. I don't know if she watches this. Actually, I think I have an answer to that, but I don't know if she'll see this. And so, but I hope she does, because I think she'll be excited. The next show for the letter B is Banana Fish. I am on episode 3 or 4. It's different. That's a good thing. I'm not really gonna give my thoughts beyond that, because that'll be its own video. But yeah, the next show is Banana Fish. That is 24 episodes and 1 season to my knowledge. I'm very excited to watch it, and when it is done, I will most definitely be giving my thoughts on it. I don't know. I felt like I had more to add on this show, but I don't think I do. So yeah, I guess I'll just say it one more time. The next show is Banana Fish, and I look forward to watching more of that show and then putting out another part of this. But I guess I'll just go ahead and wrap this here. I know this one wasn't the greatest, but I think it perfectly encapsulates my feelings with this show of just, yeah, I mean, it was okay. So, if you liked what you're listening to, leave feedback in the comments below, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date on things I post. Oh yeah, Twitter. I suppose I should plug that. Follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined to do so, to see what I post over there. But yeah, I will be back with another part of this whenever I finish Banana Fish, which I imagine won't be too terribly long from now. But until then, bye.